Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Art and stuff.
Yes, right. We are looking at Amazing Spider-Man 315 through 317, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken on that. It is Todd McFarlane's best Venom. We're going to find out in just a second. See y'all in a bit.
I am telling you, it is the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. The employee goes to the cliff, looks over the cliff, says, is there a balloon down there? Will I be safe? What happens if it hurts? What if I land on my neck? The entrepreneur, they said, we need to jump off the cliff, backs up 10 feet to get a fucking run.
This town needs an enema.
Fuck.
Julio! Where's Commissioner Gordon? Come on! You guys just beat me! You stupid!
Wait, you don't really think you will leave? Things change.
You got me! Who's got you?
Everything changed. And anyone who tells you different is just lying.
You know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Sylvester.
I forgot we're not doing that anymore.
And I can sound my finger now.
Yeah, no, I messed that up. I almost forgot to even add us to the stage there. Well, all right. Well, let's get this going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here.
All right. Stumbling into another show. We'll get this together.
We're still working on this after almost 5 years.
Eventually we'll get this to go. One of these days. I don't know. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Got a page in from Dan last night. Excited. Getting a page tomorrow. Working on pages myself. Just having a ball, man. Just having a ball. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a long work week. Made it through those storms here in Michigan. So that's good. My fence is still on the ground.
Okay.
So we'll figure that out one of these days. Hopefully that'll get put back up. But, you know. Otherwise, I've started working on Reaper Destroyer issue 2, which has been really fun to get back in the groove of drawing again. So, extremely excited about that. I got some really awesome finished inks to one of the variant covers in the other day from Marlo Equiza. And I'm going to say this. If we get $25 in Super Chats today, I'm going to show it off. Exclusive to the Art and Stuff crowd. I'll just say that. Let's do this.
Hey, but if we get 50, shaving my dome.
And if we get 100... shaving my dome.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And if we get 150, Zach is going to come on the show from the Spawn review. He's going to shave his head. Oh, shit.
That's a lot of money.
Okay. Well, okay.
Give it a show.
150 for shaving the balls?
Yeah.
Maybe 200.
Okay.
200.
A lot.
Right. We haven't talked that over with Zach yet. He'll do it.
He's good with it.
Don't worry about it. We got Hail the Lord was number 1 in the chat. Number 1 in the chat. Number 1 in our hearts. You know that means, sir, that you are...
It's your number 1.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being here. We also have Mr. Mark Penguin in the house. We are Venom.
Yeah.
We also have...
Blue, you're my boy!
Blue Boy Comics is in the house. Says, boom! I'll have to catch the replay on tonight's show. I have a date. Oh.
With a lesbian?
Librarian.
Oh. That's cool, too. Good for you.
Librarian? Yeah, well, good luck. You know,
yeah.
As long as glasses.
Oh, they gotta get the glasses.
That's how I picture all librarians. You know,
dude,
glasses. You know,
I love
not old.
glasses.
Hopefully, it's not like the old ones. You know, like you gotta be the sexy ones.
Yeah.
Sexy
Tight
librarians.
skirt. Yeah, bun up in the hair.
Yeah, that's how I envision everyone. We got Heath Ward, Cosmic Studios in the house, member of the channel. He says hot librarians are crazy. Oh,
They are.
I actually have never met one in real life. But we'll find out. Look who we have in the chat.
What? Yo, that's our guy.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
is
you
going
are.
on, brother? How you doing, man?
Good
Haven't
to
seen this
see you.
dude in a while.
Hope you're doing well. One of our day ones. Cheers to you just for being you. Love you. Hope you're doing good.
Been a
Wow.
second, man. Hope
Fuck
you are
yeah.
doing good.
Mhm.
That makes me feel good. I'm excited to get
It
this
really
going.
does. Yeah, I wasn't gonna phone this one in.
He was, and now it's going to be, all right, showmanship. Let's go.
Yeah, I got something to prove to my guy.
We still got people filing in here. Wherever you're at, guys, please let people know that we are live. Share this out on X, share it out on Rumble, share it out on YouTube, share it on Facebook, wherever you might be watching. Let people
Other
know we're
people's
live.
shows, other
Go
people's
into other people's
chats.
shows. That's right. I give
More
you
importantly,
permission.
drop the link to this into type 1. I got more other shit to worry
Just
about.
drop the links wherever. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Jerry in the house.
What's up, Jerry? Good to see
Going
you,
on,
brother.
man? Yeah,
Yo,
I hope you haven't seen that.
Jerry and our friend Terry have a new project coming out, I believe called The Just, if I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. They have an ash can out. I haven't
Nice.
gotten it yet. I apologize. But drop the link, Jerry, for people to grab that. And that's fucking awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing some shit because you guys are the best. Shout out to Liefeld Studios, message boards.
Yes. Also, have you been seeing like Dan Fraga lately? He's been posting a lot of stuff from like the Extreme Studios, the reunion.
Yeah.
He posted
Mhm.
his drawing table from Extreme Studios. Yeah, man,
Dude.
those
Yo,
were the days, man.
That was his studio was so chaotic, like my OCD would
So
not
sick.
be able to like function. But fucking awesome, you know? Like it's history.
I say that too, but then I look around at my studio here and I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe I would. But that's what I always envision comic book studios looking like.
Right.
Just, you know, you remember, did you see Jim Lee's, you know, when they did those videos, you know, like when they were just starting Image and they did the, what was that, the comic book greats or whatever?
Comic book greats, yeah, the back of the
And
his.
they did a little bit of like tours or so, and you saw like Jim Lee's working spot. It's just all massive shit, just like a little bit of place for drawing and stuff. I'm like, that's the way it should be, you know? Like that's what made me excited about wanting to be an artist when I was younger. So,
And they gave you an excuse to have your room dirty, like, and your mom came in, like, clean your room.
It still
like,
didn't
"Mom,
work.
I'm creating my comics.
it still didn't work. It's like,
Nah.
no, clean that shit up. Michael Pritchard's in the house. They're all about the GUI, Dewey decimal system. Am I missing something with that?
Oh, the librarians?
Oh, okay. Yes. That makes the GUI, Dewey. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. We have Christopher Bouchard in the
Bouchard.
house. Welcome. So what's up, Joe, Sean, and how is the shipping going to Reaper Destroy? Actually, very, very good. Very
Tell 'em
good.
about it.
I'll have to say.
Tell 'em about it.
Let me tell you about it right now. So ever since we got a little bit more organized, I moved it out of my house because we could barely walk. We could barely live in this house with the entire order all over the place. Got it to a different section. Got a little bit of help. I think by the time all the orders are out by the end of the week that we have packaged up, we will have over almost 800 of the 1290 out in the mail. So big progress over the last week and a half getting stuff out. So yes,
Very cool. Very
YSA's in the house.
Yo, there's our dudes. Good to
What's
see
going on? We have Michael Bancroft,
Oh, the legend.
the legend. He says, I've got most of the Mcfarlane Venom books, but I was introduced to the character through Michelini and Bagley. Same
That was
here.
a good run too. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
We're all about the same age range.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to show something quick.
Do it.
This trade right here is kind of what we're
Yeah, I've
doing
got that. Yep.
with 300 in it. Like when I got to collecting Spider-Man, however, it was the Larson run. But my dad got a little too pissed that I kept reading his books. He's like, start collecting your own. So I had to get those a little down the road. But this thing has been through hell and back. I have better pornos than this. Like the shape that shit's in. So it's all good stuff. Joe's sending me a text. Porn. But yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh. So yeah. that's
Twisted
that.
Dreams is in the house. One of our regulars here. You know we do
Subject
this.
notes. the extraction theory papers? Am I the only one who did the reading?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Except for tonight, because I believe Michael Odin did the reading and told us a little bit about things. So we're gonna get into stuff because we don't read here. We just pretend. Jay Blues in the house says, "Hey, yo, I just got my Reaper Destroyer today. It's metal. Great job, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If anybody has gotten the book, or when you do get the book, please post it on X or Facebook, or let people know you got it. Let people know what you think about it, even if you hated it. I want reviews out there. I want people to say it. We have Brian Norton in the house, a member of the channel. It feels so good to have all our members in the house tonight. Thank you, guys. Chuck Gibson's here.
Nice.
I just bought my omnibus with all that stuff. Nice. Nice.
Cool.
Let's get going. Let's get rolling. All right, guys. We're going to jump here into the stream. Let's do this. Let's bring on our guest here.
We got a little intro.
Oh, shit. Yeah. New format. I keep forgetting.
Damn, son.
All right. Well, hold on a second. Let me get this back up here. Okay, it's Thursday. I'm feeling good. Welcome to
Art and Stuff, your favorite podcaster's favorite show about comics and art and stuff. 25 and a half years in the business, on a technicality. Over 40 years consuming and collecting the comic book medium in many formats. That includes crayons. Like Norman, my skills are the baits. I might be a little dysfunctional, but I'm fucking functional. I'm recklessly charismatic. I've been killing it since days of the B-boy belt buckles. Editor extraordinaire. Right, Kayla?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Gifted narcissist with the dedicated personality, the Hispanic guy on paper, smoother than your days in Underoos, creator type 1, the only one, except no duplicates. I'm cooler than the gang, Jersey's finest Sean Ahrent. With me, as always, my brother and I.
Very talented, very sexy. We're very distinguished. Always narcissistic, but never vain. Staunch offender, Rob Liefeld, and Gina Carano, and a lover of all things 90s. Joseph Michael Sonntag, or Joe M Sonntag if you prefer, as the Pope likes to call me JMS, or as the chat likes to call me Ronan Joe. Welcome to the show, and as always, what an awesome show we have tonight, because we have with us, who do we have?
We got our buddy Michael Odin returning with us. We're going to talk a little bit about his book Elysian Fields later on the show, but he's going to teach us a little bit about spelling, which we have nothing, we have no concept of. That's why we have editors.
All right, let's bring him on. Michael, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Doing good.
I'm doing well. It's funny because you were mentioning Reaper Destroyer getting to people, and wouldn't you know it, this is what I got in the mail today.
Look at that.
Oh, no shit. Hell yeah. Now we're talking. That's
so I'll have to give this to read. Like, I was like, I got home, I saw the freaking the Gemini, and I was like, what the fuck am I expecting in the mail? And then you're talking about Reaper Destroyer. I was like, that's what I'm expecting in the mail. I got the email notification about that on Monday.
Nice. That's awesome.
I was like, fuck, I need to open this.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know what you think. And I said, it helps all of us creators here. Michael knows this, that if you guys get the book, just post that you got it, say something about it if you want, but just, it really helps out on social media to show that you got the book, that it's getting out there. So definitely do that, everybody, if you're getting the book. And I know you're going to, because I have to give a shout out to my mom, who has been helping out a shit ton with this campaign and doing a lot of the packaging, as she has been since the beginning. So shout out to my mom for doing a lot of the work. And if you guys got the book, most likely she spent the time to package it up. So shout out to her and give her some thanks and let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
All right, let's jump into this for a second. Never read any Venom. Nice.
What?
Oh, well, you're in for a treat tonight, my friend.
We kind of didn't either. We just looked at the pretty pictures and drew them.
Brian says, Carnage is my favorite Spider-Man villain. Carnage is dope.
Nice.
Yeah. Carnage is dope. No doubt about that. I grew up in the 90s when Carnage was big.
But he's really good.
Hey, can you see behind me? Like,
let me blow you up here. Let me see. What you got? Can you
see those Venoms?
I see. The light's kind of canceling it out a little. Oh, I see that. Yep. I see that.
That's from 91, and then that's the first vinyl model. My buddy Jeremy Brown put that together to me.
Hell yeah.
I had that since I guess whenever it came out, but
that's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. All right, we were going to be looking at Spider-Man. The story goes from 316 to 317, but there is a prelude in 315 that we're going to cover before we jump into it. And this is the second time we see Venom after Amazing Spider-Man, 300? I think is when the original fight happened. So they wasted no time bringing him back. Getting him back in here, within a year, I'd say, maybe a little over a year, depending on when these books came out. But this is by far, at the time, Todd McFarlane was out in the top. One of the most popular artists. Spider-Man was one of the biggest books at Marvel, and Venom had to be one of the best new villains / characters that Marvel released at this point. A lot of fandom. People loved it. And of course, you're going to ride with it. And I do think that this was a better sequel story. Like the first appearance of Venom, the first fight was fine. It was good. There's nothing wrong with it. It was great. Yeah. But this one, I think, carried
aliens to Alien, right? Like,
there you go.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. Whereas, like Alien, like the first appearance is very much, it's the horror, right? Because you don't know who Venom is, and it's all about, and obviously, from like the outside perspective, the whole point of Venom was McFarlane wanted to bring Spider-Man back to the red and blue. And so they came up with the idea of Venom as a way to get him out of the black costume for good. So like everything is kind of centered on having Spider-Man move on into this next chapter. And then this is really where you get the spectacle.
You know what's kind of funny is that Todd did not like the black costume.
No, he hated it. He thought it was oversimplified and boring, which is crazy because it's one of his most iconic suits.
Yeah,
precisely because it's simplistic.
Right.
It's one of my favorite costumes that Spider-Man ever wore. I was always very happy when they put him back in the costume for a story arc or whatever. But yeah, there was something about that black suit, especially when I was a kid, that rocked. But yeah, Venom came along, you got Spidey back in his normal jammies, and Venom comes and is just a badass character, all with those teeth.
See, that's
looks like Johnny Bravo. It does.
This is my definitive Venom. Like, I was never a big tongue guy.
You didn't like the Bagley Venom?
You see,
because Larson gave him the tongue.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like Bagley kind of like reeled it in a bit, made it a little more almost realistically exaggerated to a degree, not as dumb as Larson, but everybody else just took it to the temple of dumb afterwards.
I'm in the complete opposite camp as you.
Tell us about it.
I love like Eric Larson's Venoms to this day, like my favorite one. I think a lot of it also has to do with I grew up with the Spider-Man animated series, and that's very heavily influenced by Larson's style.
Larson added that tongue, and that's basically what has stayed for the last 30 years. I like the tongue Venom. I know Todd doesn't like it because he thinks it makes it look.
Are you?
I like the tongue. Well? I like the tongue Venom.
Okay.
I know Todd doesn't like it. It makes the character look more goofy. I think it's just a cool element. But I like the way that Bagley drew Venom in the 90s. There was just something about how he drew the face, the shape of the face, and the way that Bagley was able to utilize the tongue in, I think, more dynamic ways than Eric Larson did. But I do like the tongue version of Venom. But no, the original Venom, taking nothing away from that, was absolutely solid. When this character came out, this bulking character, menacing face, you got the teeth there. Todd does just a great job of drawing monsters, and it did a great job. You want to just skip to the Venom pages?
Yeah, just let me know. What a great gesture.
Yeah, just go ahead and skip to the actual Venom
right here. Right.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is the beginning of it. So you have to fill us in a little bit because I did not go back and read this one. I just started with 316, but this is he's breaking out. He's breaking out of where he was kept from issue 300 when he was captured originally.
Was this the Vault?
Oh yeah, it might be the Vault.
Because there was a Ron Lim illustrated book called The Vault that he was in.
Gotcha.
See, what do we know? We're just here for pretty pictures and shit, and just how to make ourselves look cooler. Odin read it.
Sheldon Martin, member of the channel, says Todd thought Venom was just an alien and not a suit anymore. He said he would have designed him differently if he knew Eddie was under all that. Interesting. I don't think I heard that before. Nice.
Speaking of Todd, did anybody catch that panel with Todd and Jim Lee this weekend?
I still have to watch it.
So cool.
You shared it with me. I still have not had a chance to watch it, but I want to check that out. Two legendary 90s artist creators getting together. I'm sure it's amazing. Yeah.
See, right here is just so great. Just the action, just the beats. Like it's very simple, but that goo coming off of him.
I think that was always the cool thing about Venom, right? Just the way that the suit came on. It was just like this. Yeah, same thing with Carnage. They did a great job.
The idea of the living suit and everything like that, and it very much has like the horror movie, kind of feel to it, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, this is just sick.
Good.
And
Great
so this
gestures,
was,
great
it's
movement.
interesting about this because this was one of the few times that Venom killed an innocent person, in which he usually is against. But this kind of also sets up the storyline going forward in not only Amazing Spider-Man, but the Venom miniseries in the 90s when the jury is going after him, because this was the guy that ran the jury, that you know what I'm talking about, the that group.
Yeah.
This
They
was
were
his
cool.
son.
Yeah.
This was his. So this, I'm sure they weren't foreshadowing this at the time, but they used a really good idea to come back to this moment to tell a story in the future. But it's funny going back and just reading this and be like, oh, okay, I can see now, even if it wasn't intentional, the setup here.
Good writing on that part, because it was
Yeah.
just a throwaway character, and they're like, let's just twist it up a little bit. It's like, okay.
I guess he
And
does
you
show
even
remorse. I forgot.
You even see him show like remorse here, where he's
Yeah, I forgot about that.
like,
That's his
he's
inner
like,
Catholic.
done is wrong, and it's very smart, as you said.
That makes a little bit more sense. I guess I haven't read this issue in forever, so I forgot that he actually showed remorse after killing the innocent person, but it was like a necessary, element for him to escape. We got B.A. Turner in the house. Hail, jabronis. Hail to you, my friend. Hope we're doing good.
Oh, these two panels. I drew the fuck out of these as a kid, even to like my 30s. Like, how could you not want to draw?
This made comics, collecting comics and wanting to draw comics as a kid, and probably also writing comics, I would assume, right, Michael?
Yeah.
This was what made it fun back in the day.
100%.
Seeing this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
Rick Sailor's in the house.
And like, you get that obviously when you have Todd McFarlane doing Spider-Man and everything. Like, I had when I was growing up, I had my two older brothers watched over me a lot, and they were in high school when I was little. So like, I was doing deep dives into their comic collections where they had stuff like Maximum Carnage, and then I got to watch a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have watched at 5 years old, because like, they were responsible for watching me and my kid sister, and so I'd end up hovering over them while they were watching HBO's Spawn. And so it's just like this is like my introduction. This was like my introduction to comics, and like, there's such a dynamic energy to everything McFarlane does on a page. Like,
McFarlane was my first favorite artist. I mean, I was a huge fan of Spider-Man when I was a kid, so I obviously gravitated towards Todd, and obviously then towards Bagley after a while. But this kind of stuff just, I don't know. For a little kid as I was, because I would have been like 10-ish, 8, 9, 10 when I first started getting into this era.
Okay.
And it was just something about seeing this kind of art that was just like, it was so intriguing. It was so, just, I don't know, just sucked you right in. So he still escaping from the vault here, and just he decides not to kill this dude, which is nice of him. He's like, I'll kill one person, but I'm not going to do two. He just fingers him to. He's like,
just make him incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, but again, it expands Venom's powers a little bit that we didn't see in the first run. So you're seeing him using his suit in more ways than we saw in 299 and 300, specifically 300. So you're getting a little bit more of a feel of what he can do as a character in that moment. But yeah, Rick Sailor, member of the channel, is in the house. Great to see you, brother. Twisted Dream said, I had to tell my middle daughter that everything people see in Spider-Man activate from. Okay. I had to tell my middle daughter that everything people see in Spider-Man, I'll just say, came from McFarlane. Let's say that. Yes, I agree with you.
I would say yes to that, and like, honestly, also you can't deny the influence of John Romita Sr.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a classic look of Spider. Like, that's that's the one where, I mean, he was all over like lunchboxes and all that from Romita. That's where Romita's art.
I would say that 90% of Spider-Man and his aesthetic was established by Senior, and then John Romita Sr., and then refined by people like McFarlane and everything that worked on him in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. I think what it was, like, Todd took everything that was there, like you said, and just made it cool. Like, because 80s and 90s were different, right? Like the generation that we were in the 90s, like we were just coming up different. Like we were needing different things. And it's just, everything in pop culture was different. Movies were different. Music, it was big bombastic stuff all around, right?
It's loud.
And yeah, a lot. And so Todd McFarlane came and did the same thing with Spider-Man. He's like, let's reinvent him a little bit. So gave him the spaghetti webbing, which I think Art Adams actually is the first one that started drawing the spaghetti webbing.
Golden?
It could be Golden. Yeah, it was one of those guys. But Todd made it popular, made the eyes big, made the suit darker, and just gave an aesthetic to the character that is still we feel today. So yes, I think you're both right.
And that's
right.
That's all I was saying is like I think that McFarlane absolutely came through and refined a lot of things. I remember they had like a documentary with McFarlane back in the 90s, and he was talking about his time on Spider-Man and how artistically he was trying to kind of bring the character to the present at the time, right? Like people were still drawing Mary Jane like she was in the 60s. And so like he puts her in more contemporary clothes, like wavy free hair as opposed to like just the straight down look it had been for ages. Like he brought a sense of modernism to the character, and it stuck.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. We got Apex in the house as well. Good to see you guys. Matt LaRock is here.
What's up, Matt?
Good to see you. Wiley J Draw has jumped in the house too. Mark, hey, that's not a hot take, man.
Oh, got breaking news here. We're all fans.
Like I'm fans of again McFarlane, Larson, Bagley were the three guys right in a row, and I loved every single one of them for different reasons. So. I will not argue with that at all. Eddie hitches a ride with a family and a newborn baby.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hair.
Eats the baby.
Yeah, he eats the baby. He's like, I only hate spiders. Good setup. Because you know exactly where he's going.
But look what he did with a boring ass panel. He just kind of cut it up just to make it interesting. Yeah. That's his graphic design background there.
And that's, kind of playing off what Michael said about the let me pull that down when you get to the next issue. What he was saying about just the updating of the characters, which is something Liefeld did too on New Mutants, and Jim Lee did on X-Men, bringing them out of that kind of stagnant 60s, 70s, 80s, early 80s and bringing them into more of the modern new era. Todd McFarlane and these guys were also doing that with the designs of the pages as well. And we see stuff just like that. It just takes a panel that could have just been a regular square, and you break it up just to make it more interesting, because why not?
I was reading one of Lee's X-Men run from like his 91 run with Claremont, and I was like looking at the layouts, and I was like, dude, what the fuck has happened to modern comics? These guys. It's one of these things where it's like, and that's not to say that there aren't good, like there are some really solid artists in the game right now that are still doing like really cool things. But I feel like there was way more experimentation with a lot of these bigger names in the 90s. Like they were willing to take bigger risks. And as a result, they got there's a page in the second issue of that X-Men run where Magneto's lifting a submarine out.
Yeah.
And it just hits different than anything that you see currently. And so it's one of those crazy things where there's just this weird, like fantastic energy in these 90s compositions that is just missing from today's art. And I'm very confused, because you would think that with as striking as visuals as those are, you would see people building off of that, but it's almost as if they rejected it and went in another direction, and it's very confusing to me.
It's very boring.
I think that's definitely what they did. One, because I think this takes time. There's a reason why a lot of these books were later. But I don't know. A lot more simplified art. I saw Rob Liefeld make a post on one of the social medias he's on. I can't remember which one, either today or yesterday. And he posted this picture of a comic book page. And he said, sequentially wise, the storytelling was fine and everything, but there was nothing on the page that made it dynamic. And he was wondering that if it's just a certain model that a lot of new artists kind of go by nowadays, because it all looks the same. There's so many artists now that just look the same, and the storytelling isn't bad. That's just fine, but the art isn't dynamic. And I thought he nailed it on that. And you brought up a great point there. We got Kayla in the house, member of the channel. What's going on? I will not highlight your next comment though, because
we all know.
Because we all know.
We can hear it.
Which comment is this?
Fine, I'll highlight it.
Do it.
Claremont is the best. Oh yeah, fair enough.
You know what's funny? Like, she popped up like as that was coming.
Yeah, she's like, I have to make a comment now.
Had
some X-Men talk.
Somewhere out in the ether, a bell rang for
she's like, I got to remind everyone. Yeah. I still have to make some. I still have to make some kind of video drop that's got like. What I want to do is take that clip from American Police, or World Police. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
the
Team America World Police.
Team America World Police, where it's Matt Damon, right? And Matt Damon's like, Matt Damon. Except I'm going to do a voiceover and just be like, Chris Claremont. I'm also going to do one that's like, Adams. And every time she says it, I'm going to play that clip. I got to do it.
It's like Phil with Lobo.
Yeah. All right, jumping back in, we are officially into 316. This is going to kick it all off, and this is a fantastic issue, probably my favorite issue of the two, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that happens in this issue. And that's like a really good, like this was a fun issue to read. Not to say that 317 wasn't, but like this was a blast.
There was some psychological stuff in this. There was one scene I think that really shows you, and we'll get to this here in a second, that really shows you the threat or the brutal aspect of this villain compared to previous villains. Even though, you had the Green Goblin killing Gwen Stacy, or I mean, I guess he doesn't necessarily kill her.
That was a fluke.
Yeah,
she should have been more careful. Like, if you're on the bridge,
he kills her. Like, there's no way Gwen Stacy gets out of that situation.
I mean,
I believe in feminism.
It's it's not even a fluke. He drops her off of a bridge.
Yeah. He could have been a better Spider-Man. That's on him.
Okay. Yeah. If he was Superman, he would have caught her.
Look, man, it's all make believe at the end of the day.
Green Goblin didn't kill Gwen Stacy. Gravity did. Whatever.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
She should have had a trampoline plan there. She was falling in comic book water. Comic book water. It would have been like sploosh. But no, this broad had to get her neck broken.
Except this was the one time that comic book writers decided that physics applied. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, this one time.
Yeah.
Only this time. This time.
Yeah. They're like, we need to make a point.
Heath Ward says, I think the editors enforce a boring style to prevent another image revolution. There is that theory, and I do believe there's some
I don't
to
agree with that, because we still have people like Daniel Warren Johnson, who does have he does bring a lot of kinetic energy to his like layouts and everything like that. And he does a lot of crazy stuff. And the guy's winning several Eisners a year because of it. Like, Daniel Warren Johnson is fantastic. So I don't think that it's really an editorial thing to try and kneecap things. I do think that it's probably, Joe, I think you were the one that brought it up, that it is a way to streamline the process to make sure that they were hitting monthly deadlines. I think it makes way more sense. Like, and the moment that you put that out there, I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable.
I think that's what it is nowadays. I do think that there was, we had Dan Fraga on years ago and we talked about this coming from the Extreme Studio days, that there was a clampdown probably in that early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, where they were really trying to push back against that image stuff. And I do believe that that's where it started. Nowadays, I do think it's easier to get stuff out, and people don't care. Maybe the big wigs don't care as much about art as it is just getting the story out. And that's, to somebody like me that cares a lot about the art, it's insulting, but to each their own.
They all went to college for literature, but I could tell you, having many meals with Rob Liefeld, he's proven the point that it was that they were trying to stop the next image. So
yeah,
maybe it died down, whatever. That artists aren't doing long runs anymore. Like, what, 3 to 4 issues is a run these days? That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's stupid. Fisk is in the house, says Venom rules. I agree.
Yes.
We also have one more, and then we're going to jump into back into the story. Apex brings up a great point and says Marvel and DC page rates have dropped to a bottom feeder low. That is 100% true.
Yes, and it's also because they aren't selling. But aren't selling as well as they used to. They're putting out way too much content and aren't keeping audiences around.
Yep.
But, oh goodness, this is such a cool panel.
It's like he's dropping his balls on his back.
So he's attacking a bum, which we all know. And we all wait, not bums. We can't say bums on this show. It's displaced homeowners.
Yes.
Oh my god! Did you guys get struck for that at one point?
No, we're just preparing for the future for some.
We got to cover. We got to cover all.
Yeah. I was a
Look, man, it's 2025. YouTube would totally do something like that. I thought that was a fair question.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this show is shadow banned on YouTube, as hard as it is to get subs. You know, like the views are decent on the actual channel itself, but you never see the subs move. I honestly believe that we probably say too many offensive things on this channel.
I do.
Yeah. So here's another thing: displaced homeowners, which Todd loves. We see that in Spawn a lot, and even in Spider-Man. He's coming across this dude, and again, just another way to intimidate. And this is kind of what I like about Venom's character. Like when he is Venom, not just Eddie Brock. Like he's just he's got some twisted, sick humor. But I love that he's just intimidating this dude as like, I'm gonna take this rat, and I'm going to show you that I can squeeze the life out of him by wrapping him in my web and then just sucking all the oxygen out. And go down a little bit, Sean.
Yeah.
Well, first off, interesting writing. Like it's an interesting example or display of his power, I guess, and do it on a rat because nobody cares about a rat. So they get away with it in the late 80s, early 90s. When did this book come out? Late 80s?
88, 89?
Okay, that's what, like right there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it on a rat there. But he just leaves this dude just holding this, suffocated, just airtight, air sealed rat. It just, I don't know.
That's it's pretty dark though for like a kid's comic book at the end of the day.
That's true.
Like, oh shit.
Sometimes I forget about that. Yeah, I would have been reading this when I was 8. And not that I read it because I just looked at the pictures. But if I did
also like back then, parents weren't really paying attention to this shit either.
No,
they were like,
not one.
That's true.
Yeah, you can have the $1 comic book from the spinner rack.
It's got the comics code on it. It's got to be okay, It's like,
well,
right.
It's actually kind of funny because my parents didn't pay attention to the comics for the longest time until I think I got a Wildstorm swimsuit issue. And then they were just like, wait, what is what are you looking at?
Why is it's stuck together?
Yeah, like it's sticky. All right.
This pose, dude. This image is in, I think, that oversized collection of the art of the Todd McFarlane one.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I wish we had that as a kid, or just something black and white to look at.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I dropped that book on my foot like a month ago. It's still fucking pounding.
Oh, it's heavy as shit.
Heavy ass shit.
I haven't looked through it since the time we did the Akba show on it. It's just sitting there on my shelf, but it's such a great book. We got Kate Ojo in the house. Says greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Good to see you.
Jacob's in the house as well.
What's up, Bear? Good to see you, my guy.
The rat was fine and was still moving.
Yeah,
that's what they say. That's what they say.
It's so empowering.
No longer a bum, back type one.
Nice, thank you. No,
I like that. That's awesome.
Give me flowers. No, thank you. I really appreciate it. We're on the road to 10K. God bless. Thank you.
Let's
go.
Hope
you enjoy it. We're getting there.
All right, we are going real slow on this. Let's speed this up a little bit. We got lots of stuff to get into.
You're the ones talking about displaced homeless people.
It's my
and
fault.
Rats,
it's my fault.
Look at the perspective and look how easy it is to put something in the front just to give depth.
That foreground, yeah.
Yeah.
Comic book art 101, foreground, midground, background. He's got it all.
I want to keep scrolling like this. You tell me to stop when to stop.
How badass is that first panel?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Just the symbiote pulling down off of his face, and he's still got like the grin full of teeth.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the visual wise, Todd just killed it on Venom in general. This actually made me want to work out as a kid. I'm just like this. Yeah, I'm gonna get
where's my
jacked up, and I'm
protein?
gonna become Venom. That was my mentality as a kid.
Also, I like the simple detail of like the balls of light around the camera.
Oh
that
yeah,
Todd uses for the flash photography, like it. And this also is one of those things where obviously back then they didn't have like the digital coloring.
Exactly. You had to do it like this.
now.
Yeah.
So like this is just a super smart way, because like now you could literally just go into like a digital layer and create flashes to emulate that.
You just tell your colorist to be like,
this is such a cool way to replicate like the ability to have camera flash.
I almost prefer it, to be honest with you. Like I just because it's just an old school way of doing it. No, Sheldon Martin, I remember the same thing. Eat your brains. Sick.
Oh, I had that toy too with the sound box.
Did it have a sound box?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't have that one.
Poor you.
It was definitely poor me. I like Spider-Man. This is funny. I don't know how much this junk weighs. I never thought about this as a kid when I was looking at it. And I know he says something that like the weight of the junk's not that heavy, so I'm sure he's fine. But the way Todd draws it absolutely looks like he smokes this dude.
Like he just freaking buried that dude
right on the top of his like top upper body head. Just you got a tire there, that weighs a lot. You got a catalytic converter. You got like all these car parts just smashing down on his head. And Spider-Man's like, junk wasn't heavy enough really to damage the guy, but he'll be out for a while.
Joe, this is before concussions were a thing, man. Nobody.
That's true. There were no concussions back then. Yeah, R.I.P.
How many fingers can you hold up, sir?
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So what Spider-Man's doing his everyday thing, trying to get. Oh yeah, I forgot because so I just skimmed this book to remember what was going on. Isn't there some kind of rival photographer?
Yeah, so there's a photographer that's been handing over the only one that J. Jonah's accepting photos from right now of Spider-Man is this other photographer.
That's right.
Constantly trying to make Spider-Man look bad. He's effectively Eddie Brock 2.0.
Well, that's how they did with Eddie in Venom 3.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Venom 3.
Like it.
Did the Sam Raimi one?
Yeah.
Oh, and the Sam Raimi. Oh, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's my bad, John. I'm getting that mixed up. Yeah, that's the whole point. Is it's that character arc.
Yeah.
Michael Bancroft says caved-in skulls were a thing, though. That is true.
They were, but nobody cared.
Yeah. Hits aren't as bad in comics and movies, but in real life, you would be dead. Yeah, that's 1,000% right. Simulate Knowledge is in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Doing?
So yeah, just going through Spidey's life here, or Peter Parker's life, what's going on right now. I do believe that this is also when they got evicted a few issues back or something. They were evicted by whoever their landlord was, so they're living with Aunt May in this story arc. Mary Jane having issues too with modeling, something with anyway, they're going through hard times. They're going through hard times. And that was the thing about the storyline. Now here we go.
Vixen. Here's Vixen.
Oh my lordy. It was panels like that as a kid that got me very excited about comics. I couldn't tell why at the time, but now I know. Black Cat goes to their old apartment. Great silhouette work there too. Just by the way, love silhouettes. And this is the scene I was talking about. This is where you kind of show the brutal aspect of Venom, and you're kind of crossing over, from a kid's book into a little bit more of I don't want to say adult territory because it's not adult, but violence wise, he
PG-13.
decimates. Yeah. You step it up just a little bit because you're showing them the amount of threat that Venom actually is. Spider-Man's been through all this rogues gallery, but you have to do something to just show that this guy is on a different level. Like this is something you really have to watch out for. And they use Black Cat in this way to kind of sacrifice her a little bit in the story to show, one, because she's a woman and you got this big bulking alien. So it's going to make you feel a little bit worried for her or a little bit, what am I trying to say here? Sean, help me out. Yeah, laissez combatant. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
You know, this shit was normal back in the day. Like Hank Pym would smack this shit around like
I guess that's true.
And they're like, marriage stuff. And
yeah. Sean Connery was just like, just smack around every once in a while to keep him in line. Shout out to Sean Connery. Rest in peace.
God bless the dead.
Jacob said they better cast Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat. That's a fact right there.
I would take that.
Yeah.
Don't get Kayla started on that. She's like, you
Yeah.
see her without makeup? I don't care what she looks like
we don't
without
care.
makeup.
Look,
yeah.
Nobody cares about Sydney Sweeney for her face.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on from that conversation.
Or her personality.
Yeah, we don't care about the personality or her face.
I'm never going to date her.
Yeah.
I mean, I got hope. He's single.
So yeah, just a fun fight here where Black Cat, she does a little bit there, but yeah, this scene right here, or not scene, but this panel just busts her nose up, just beating the shit out of her. A little bit early on violence there with the comics code, letting some of that blood go. Nice bright blood. In this panel, or
this is so great.
This is one of the most powerful ones of the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this is, I mean, a very suggestive kind of posing here, which is it's.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least what my mind sees. And I'm assuming that Todd probably had that thought process, and because you want to push the shocking aspect of what's going on, and not saying that he's trying to allude to anything, but you have Black Cat here. She's busted up. Her clothes, or the top of her clothes, you see the majority of her back because it's all ripped to shit. He's got the ponytail with a fist there. Like, to me, that's a this is gonna be the wrong word, but it's like a violation of the character, right? Just it's a visual violation of the character without going any farther than that. You know what I'm saying? But it shows the impact of what's going on to someone that Peter cares about. At least I think so in this part of the story. I can't quite remember what their relationship is at this time.
In the dialogue, she said like she is at like their old apartment that they were a thing at, and she's kind of reminiscing on old times. So they're no longer an item, but they have had a romantic past.
Okay.
And so like and I think that the way that you describe that is like perfect, because it does feel like it feel like if you took Venom out of this picture and you just saw Black Cat, your heart would break.
Exactly.
Because you would assume that like something just unspeakable happened to her, and then you put Venom in there, and you want to hate him, like because he's done like this is a person that Peter's cared about, and as a result, you care about.
100%. Yep. Which is why I think this scene in the book was so powerful to set up the character of the threat, especially when we see him a little bit later on in this book and into issue 317 of just, this is a lot more of a psychological aspect to like the stalking that Venom does. He already go back a few issues to 300 when he scared the hell out of MJ, right? Mm-hmm. You had that psychological attack on Peter's wife at the time. Now you have a physical attack on one of his ex-girlfriends, which I don't know if Venom knows that, but at least for the writing, it just shows like it's getting closer and closer, more violent. And then you have a scene coming up where it's just like, boom, right there. The danger is right there amongst everybody you love. So it's a really good build up to the fight.
All right. This is something that chaps my ass. Like, this is all basic flats. Like, this should have been white. I feel like Malin right now. This should be white. Like, that's a background.
Yeah, there's some mistakes.
Come on. You're flat. Come on, Marvel. Department of whatever you do. Jesus Christ, it's all flat.
Editors. Come on. Who's the editor?
Editors. Yeah. Of reprints.
And then beyond, but besides all of this, so at the very end, she doesn't know he's married. So after getting her ass kicked and in this violated aspect, and then she finds out that he's married at the end of that. So like, what a demoralizing.
Shout out to Peter.
Well, and so,
I like him.
So, what I think is always one of the most interesting aspects of Venom is that he's literally like the manifestation of all of Peter's toxic relationships. Like the symbiote is like the rejected ex-girlfriend. Brock is the disgraced reporter that he screwed over, right? both of these aspects play into Venom wants to destroy Peter Parker. He wants to destroy Spider-Man. And so he does it in every single way. And it's one of the reasons why he works so well as a character.
Yep. You had the look, and then you had just the personality of the character and how he just tormented Peter in that aspect. And the thing that, because a symbiote knows so much about Peter.
Yeah.
Having been partly bonded or whatever it was that when the time they shared together. So there is that dynamic there that I think made him so unique than any other rogues gallery at the time.
Yeah.
Like Kayla says, how great is the hair? It's great.
It's fire.
The only character who is on par with Venom like that is really Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, yep. Those would be those would be 1 and 1A for me when you talk about the top villains in Spider-Man's rogue gallery. To me, it's Green Goblin and Venom. Pick your one.
About 25 years ago, they were interviewing Frank Miller after DK2 or around the time. And they're like, who do you want to write next? He's like, Superman. He's the most fucked up. Like, and he gave the reasons why. It's like, yeah, okay. But look at Spider-Man. His best friend's dad killed his broad. His parents died. His second father was killed because he was being a lazy bum. Like, all this shit happened to him. Like, I think he's pretty fucked.
He is. Like, so I missed the fact that Mary Jane saw Venom when he did that, like, dive bomb or buzz by her. So she basically tells Peter that he's back, or she senses it or something. But this is something you can't do anymore. Well, maybe you could with cell phones, but back in the day, because I feel like this is a trope I've seen in comics or shows or whatever, where because everyone's used to him speaking through a mask, so he's got to disguise his voice a little bit while he's talking as Spider-Man, just put a cloth up to the phone. It's clever.
Phones were cool back in the day.
I miss phones, man.
Doing these type of machines.
Hell yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. Let's go.
Hashtag bring back the landline.
Exactly.
Not only the landline, but I want the old rotary,
I want a fax machine.
Yeah, I want to go back to that. Let's go.
Sean, do you really want a fax machine? Come on, let's not put too much.
Well, you know what? I'm jealous of like what Rob and Jim had to go through, like the just to send somebody something, and it'd be like an hour just to get like an 11 by 17 piece of paper, like a picture. You're like, oh my god, like I like excitement, like like I'm working on me.
Oh, Leandro said you can mask your voice, guys. There's an app for that. Of course there is.
Oh
yes, this is a 6 spread. Phenomenal page. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, shout out to Todd, but I do believe that he used
stats.
Like,
that's a fantastic spread. Like every single time that we see like Spider-Man, we normally see him like drawing the web across his body, and it's like a close up and everything. But I really like this because you get like a facade of the New York skyline in the back.
Yeah,
and it's very different than what you would normally see like from a standard Spider-Man pose. I actually really like this panel.
You get more of the anatomy too.
Yeah.
Todd would use a lot of real backgrounds.
Yeah.
In this era of Spider-Man, and he would just kind of go through and manipulate them, which is fine. I had no problems with that. But it gave kind of a little bit more of a realism in a lot of those scenes. Like that panel in the splash before, it was probably an actual picture.
Yeah.
That he Xeroxed or manipulated or whatever and drew over it, which is fine. It's a cool technique, but it added that realism to it. Look what we got in the house. We got Jamie.
What's up, Jamie? Good to see you, girl.
Hope you're doing well. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Edwin's in the house as well. Good to see you,
What's up,
Edwin.
What up?
All right, here we go.
Oh, we go. They're gonna get brawling.
Spider-Man tracks him down. And whatever. Yeah, what is that?
It's his go bag pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But at this point, it literally just looks like web satchel.
Yeah, it's a satchel, not a purse.
It's a satchel, not a purse.
It's a Gucci web purse is what it is.
There we go. Speaking of Gooch, everybody give the Gooch a happy birthday.
Yes.
Drop it on his Twitter. Tell him happy birthday from us that we sent
and
you.
I'm sure he's streaming tonight, so go into his stream and wish him a happy birthday to the Gooch.
Woo.
60 years old today.
Yeah, 75 hasn't looked better on
75,
anybody.
80's the youngest he's ever looked, you know?
Yeah. It's that Canadian blood.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna look at an awesome fight here. Like that's the cool thing about Venom is he was stronger, faster than Spider-Man. Like in every way, he was better than Spider-Man, except for his wits, right? So Peter really had to use his wits against Venom, but that was what was awesome about this character. He, for the longest time, could not go just toe to toe with Venom and last too long. You know,
Yeah, he had to create like moments of opportunity to take Venom off guard.
Yep.
So I'm glad we grew up when we grew up. You know, like in the time of this shit. Like this is so good. Oh, I need to use that panel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rip that cow in half there, or whatever it is.
It's definitely cow.
Yeah. Kale says she's gonna text him on the 13th again. Good for you. Good for you.
Stick to your laurels. Look at that thing. That thing's got to weigh like thousands upon thousands of pounds. But he's like, nah, I'm just an alien from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I like how they're like, we can't have the blood be blood. We're gonna have to color it pink just so we can so we can get through the code. A bunch of cow guts and cow blood there. Oh yeah.
Oof.
That's tough.
That would have left a mark. Just a small one.
You would need a band-aid or two.
So this is the funny thing though. He gets, I can't remember where. Oh, his satchel. Right. He leaves a satchel behind there, his web satchel. And in the satchel is the new address, where they're living, where they moved to. So just by chance, just by luck, he basically gave Venom the keys to exactly where he and his entire family are at. And that's how this issue ends. I'm gonna drop this out. You can bring the next one up.
Yeah, I just need to get some water. I'm a little parched.
Covered in pink McDonald's meat goo. That's it was before its time. Yeah, I agree. I grew up when the comic artists became rock stars. What a time to be alive. Facts, my friend.
What a fucking cover.
All right, here we go.
Gesture.
This was an awesome cover. Yeah.
Badass
cover for sure. So we're jumping into 317 now. We're going to wrap up the storyline here. We are at Aunt May's house, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Aunt May's house. Happy Peter. He's a very
not happy. Yes. I like how he's got blonde hair in that one page or one panel to brown or blonde greenish hair, maybe. Come on, colorists.
He just got some webbing in there. Joe, you're being too harsh.
And this was a great way to he's like, I know where you live now. I'm not going to show up as Venom. I'm going to show up as Eddie, and I'm going to just show you the threat that's here. And in front of Aunt May, I don't know if MJ's there at the house right now or not, but Aunt May's right there, and he's just chilling like the Fonz, you know. Hi, I'm Eddie Brock.
He's well dressed, and he puts on his best face, right? Like he's incredibly cordial to Aunt May, and he knows all of this is making Peter uncomfortable because he knows, Peter knows exactly who he is, and he can't do anything about it. His hands are completely tied. It's brilliant.
It's like, Peter doesn't quite know either, like the threat, like is he going to at any moment lash out? Like I love this panel right here, really trying so hard to like keep his hands off of Aunt May. So you got the one dynamic, right? And it's funny because Todd's got like the cartoony style and everything, but he's got one panel where it's like this distraught Peter trying to really, without Aunt May seeing anything, pry his hands off when Venom's too strong, and then the other part of the panel, Venom's being all flirty's the wrong word, but whatever, respectful, flirty, kissing the hand.
Debonair.
Yeah, and he just gets that just a little bit of the symbiote on his fist to show the power, but like, you can't do anything about it. It's just great. Like it's a great scene to come right in and be like, I can take any of this that you love at any time I want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Psychological. It's great.
They're not possible. Physically impossible.
Yeah. Peter's designed to just screw up all the time. That's his character for his lot in life.
Charlie Brown.
That man rolls more crit fails than anyone in history. Like, he just wakes up and that's what he does.
Yeah. All right. So I can't remember what you have to explain again what's going on in this scene. I forget if he's goading them to do a final battle or whatever but this is an interesting, nobody's fighting at this moment. It's kind of a conversation between the two characters, and Venom is basically Eddie's basically just telling what's up for the most part.
Yep.
Pretty much it. Like, look what I found in your purse.
Yeah.
Your address.
The satchel.
Yeah. That's a dumb face. I love it. He's like, yeah, see?
Well, that's a funny thing. Like, as much as I like Todd's work, there's sometimes where sometimes the faces were way off,
Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
Reasons.
Yeah, I'm sure he would say that too. I mean, I've seen interviews with him where he said that when he was drawing Spider-Man, he was still learning how to draw, which is a testament to him that he rose to such stardom because his style just clicked at the right time, even though he was still learning how to do certain things and become a better artist, especially when it comes to faces and stuff. But he could draw the monsters and costume characters like nobody's business. Yeah. The way his page composition, like Todd, who else would have an entire vertical panel just for a portion of a close up on an eye? Yeah, and that's Todd did that, and so many other guys copied him. Because like all the image guys copied like a lot of the stuff that Todd was doing, and that became the famous thing with the image artists. These big ass panels, long vertical panels, and it's just a zoom up on a particular part of the body, an eye, freaking whatever. But it became like a staple for that era of art. And it really, it goes back to Todd in a lot of ways.
Yeah, was it like
since he was kind of like the older
storytelling? I don't know, but it looked cool.
It looked cool, and that's all that mattered. Yeah, I mean, he was older than everybody else for the most part of the image founders, besides Valentino, who was old. But everybody else, like Rob, looked up to him. Lee, all those guys really looked up to Todd at the time because Todd was a superstar. Lee was coming up, he was getting famous, he was doing his thing, but Todd was the absolute superstar to start it all off with,
And if you listen to that panel, Lee will say just exactly that.
Oh, see, I still have to listen to it. I'm going to try to catch it tomorrow.
What are you doing here? Okay.
So this is actually something that I love, and this is such a small detail. It's actually on the page that you're going down to. This is something that I think is also missing from a lot of modern books, is because they try to make everybody have their own title. But like, something that I miss is that Spider-Man isn't alone. Even though, like, when you're looking at a lot of more modern Marvel books, when you're reading a character title, it feels like they're the only character in that world, right? But like, Spider-Man is in New York. There are tons of superheroes in New York, and he's also like an on again, off again member of the Fantastic Four. Like, they're family to him. And so like it's something that I miss, where like you would like it, like this is like there's no advertisement on the front of the cover that, hey, the Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm is going to show up in this issue. But sure enough, some of his Spider-Man's resources is he can get insights from other heroes that he works with frequently, and they'll just show up in a book. And I think that's
I think during this time in like 70s, 80s, 90s, they really leaned into the world of Marvel, where a lot of characters could just pop up here or there because, they do exist in New York where a shit ton of heroes are, and maybe you're right. I don't read enough brand new books to know if they still do this or not, but it does kind of seem like things are a little bit more separated. They keep Spidey in his universe, the X-Men in their universe, and, and that it's interesting. I'd have to somebody, if you read New Comics, let me know if they're still doing that, if they've really pulled back at that, because that was what was special about Marvel. Just this scene where he goes and visits the Fantastic Four, or, you know, whoever pops up, you know, it's just, you know, Maximum Carnage, when you get all the heroes just popping up in New York, helping out, you know, it's, yeah, stuff like that's cool. Yeah, his take on the Thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Completely all Todd McFarlane, unless there was something going on with the Thing in the storylines in the Fantastic Four at the time, but that's the only time I've seen the Thing look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Todd's just like, I don't want to draw the normal Thing. I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
So here it again, you know, like Brock is he's just fucking with Peter at every turn. You know, here he is at Aunt May's house again, helping her do the laundry. You know,
he's like, I'm going to rearrange your socks.
Yeah. Yeah. Be on the beach at. Wait, go back up. Be at the beach at Montauk tomorrow morning, Spider-Man. Alone.
Montauk. It's Montauk.
Whatever.
No. We put respect on our words up in the north, buddy.
God dang Easterners. I gotta say,
that's gotta be like the least intimidating. He's like, yeah, we're gonna hash this out on the beach in Montauk. What?
You just not hear me? What? God damn it! No respect for fucking the tri-state.
John Snowden's in the house. What's going on, brother? Says the Thing ribbed for her pleasure. Facts. So the entire thing is he just wants to get a confrontation once and for all. Let's end this. I need to kill you. You know, we got to do this. And face me. Let's go. He's done enough intimidation. Let's meet at this beach. You know, do a luau. We'll figure this thing out.
I can't not think of Officer Dewey or Doofy when he does the salute.
Yeah, good times.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, MJ. Just a sexy character. Yeah. You know, depending. You know. There's probably other artists that might have drawn her more sexy, but just it's the way that character was. You know, she was a supermodel. Yeah. She was always in interesting, fun poses. She's a very beautiful woman, you know, and I loved how they utilized her character throughout this time and throughout the 90s and stuff. And it was just, there was the sex appeal when it came to the comic books with MJ, with just the way she was as a wife, totally in love with Peter and all that kind of stuff. But that was one of the things as a kid that always stuck out in my head. In fact, when I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to grow up and marry a redhead because I'm MJ. Like I was
a real redhead, not these orangers.
Yeah.
Have you ever
real
saw like
dark
a real
redhead.
Yeah.
Not the like, you know, ginger.
No
offense to gingers out there. I love you all.
Well, I don't really care about them, but
they do have a soul from what I've heard.
Allegedly. But look at the panel in the middle, the silhouette or just how it is, like. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, yeah, it's a cheap, but still cool.
Yeah, and there's really no reason for it because they're in the middle of the day. But it makes
exactly.
it makes it more dramatic, right?
They went in the closet.
Yeah, when he's basically letting her know what's going on, showing getting the drama going,
touch the butt. She's your wife.
He's being respectful. Yeah, he could have. I would have. It's like, look, I'm gonna go fight Venom. I don't know if I'm coming back. I'm gonna get a grab on my perfect wife's body here.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done.
No, I'm gonna hug you instead. Fucking missed
yeah.
opportunities.
Well, that's again. Come on, Peter.
Do better.
Strawberry blondes. Am I right?
Okay, I'm with that.
Not them gingers.
Has a green mustache.
He does. Holy shit. Colorist. Editors.
Staff colorist. Damn.
Come on. What the hell?
You have one job. This is the easiest job. It's just flats.
Hey man, you don't know what type of dye this man's been messing with. Maybe he just wanted to try something new.
You're right.
Yeah. That's I never noticed it though, because I'm just focused on the cool pose that Spider-Man can do. You know?
Yeah.
Outside the window.
Well, this is different than the printed version. So it's like a conscious mistake.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a second since I've actually looked at the printed version. I think it was gray that had a green tone under it. That could have been. Still, editors, you know?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's do the final showdown here. Spider-Man versus Venom for all the marbles on Montauk Beach.
Now you're just trying to piss me off. Montauk.
Montauk.
God damn it.
Sounds like a Klingon word. Montauk.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not awesome.
God damn.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Gets a jump on him. Boom.
Trying to put his
Top of the
PJs
morning
on.
to you.
Yeah, he gets smashed.
And that's another thing too that, if you guys know Venom, you know this, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If people don't, if you're watching this for the first time, you're getting into Venom. One of the things that Venom has advantage over Spider-Man, besides his strength and speed, and he's superior in every way, is he doesn't trigger Spidey's spider sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he can legitimately get the drop on him anytime he wants, like as you see in this scene. Damn right, it's interesting.
Cool.
He wants me to run from him. Heck, I want me to run from him. Why am I using the Batman voice? That's not
read Venom as Kayla.
You do a better Kayla than I do.
I don't like the brag.
Yeah. Anyway, the first time he's like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I'm going to stand up and fight. No more running. It's that, putting the line in the sand, no farther. Draw the line here.
But that panel on the left, like his legs are just like straight out. It's like there's a bit of a comedy aspect to it.
I was just saying a little cartoony, a little comedy. Yeah. It works good though. I love
that was the coolest.
Yeah.
The way that the tendrils are coming off and attacking Peter is pretty freaking nice.
Yep. Distracts him and just runs out under the sand and just yeah, and he just pulls again, a little cartoony, right? Just pulls him under the sand, but it just
a little spider.
Yeah.
Meow.
Is that the Venom Kayla there?
Yeah, cocksuckers.
Sean does the worst mass accent to him. I sound like Harley Quinn.
Oh, you sound like you got a bag full. Never mind.
I got the omnibus with that issue. That dude's mustache is green in that too. Boom, really? It's settled.
Hold on. I don't like to be wrong because
we settled.
I Sean Ahrent. Fucking gray hair, bitches.
What? Bring it up. Let's see it. That's green. Oh,
really?
Hold it up.
In one panel it's green, the next it's gray,
and the next is green again. Yeah.
Are you guys fucking kidding me? That's gray. You guys are colorblind.
The first panel's green. The second panel's gray. The third panel's green.
That?
Yeah. No, that one's gray right there.
And the other one?
The other one's a green.
You guys are bullshit.
Chat. I mean, I could be colorblind. My wife thinks I'm colorblind because I always think that the brown towels are gray when they're brown, I guess. Or maybe I think they're brown when they're gray. I don't know.
Well, we don't discriminate color around here, Mr. Sonntag.
Yeah, Admiral Wackass agrees. So is Kate Ojo.
Really?
Says the first one is green, second one is gray.
Maybe I'm colorblind.
Yeah, maybe you are the one. That's right.
No, I'm just old.
You're the problem, Sean.
I'm definitely the fucking problem. There's no bones about that one. I may be many things, but I do admit my faults.
All right, Spidey's getting his ass kicked here, as you know he's going to, and then this, he's going to die. Oh, happy.
He's going to die. Oh, happy. No, I can't do it. She's gonna call up later, and be like, "This motherfucker."
She's like, "I don't sound like that at all.
I don't sound like that."
Knock knock. That's a great panel.
That's so cool.
Again, just the intimidation that Venom is, the hulking character, the powerful character. You can't hide from him. He's going to crash through the walls. He's going to hit you through the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
Look at the lighting pattern on
yes.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And Todd did that with a lot of his books. A lot of his Spider-Man books, even the lighting on Spider-Man, he would do sometimes where it'd just be this negative space and they just filled in with the lighting. But it was something that it was unique, I think, to Todd with the way he drew back then. Whether it was Amazing Spider-Man or even later when he did Spider-Man, he did a lot of that. And I also thought it was really, really cool. Just a different dynamic to to the way the art looked.
I think Jim Lee even took that approach as well.
He might have.
Yeah, 30 years, buddy. It kind of catches up with you.
Yeah. This is like a dress being blue and black instead of gold.
Dude, that was 10 years ago to this weekend. Because I remember me and Mark were at a convention. And everybody's like, look at this. I'm like, it's what the fuck it is. That's wild that you bring it up right now. That's awesome. Good
nice. Venom's a little smart. You know, he got into the water there.
Like,
you know, fire usually like really affects him, fire and noise. Although at this time, did they really establish a fire affected him? Or is that something I feel like that might have been something they did later. Because I know they established noise, because that's how Spider-Man defeated him in issue 300.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they really established that fire really, really affects him until later on in different runs. Yeah.
Was that Lethal Protector? Because I don't think maybe
no, it was
maybe the Larson, but I don't remember.
It might have been in the Larson stuff.
Okay.
Because I know that when he would get Johnny to help him out from the Fantastic Four, that was always an advantage for Spider-Man because he would have, you know, he could go up against Venom a little bit. But I don't know if that
Johnny
was Larson or I don't know if that was Larson or if it was a Bagley thing.
Okay, for this one, you can at us, nerds.
Yeah, Kayla's saying not yet, so that makes sense because I would have thought he would have reacted a lot different to the fire than he did. So yeah, it must have been something they added in later. I like how he tries to track Venom, like Venom's running or something. He's like, "No, I invited you here so I could kill you. I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah.
Like, no, that's a great panel. Got started, friend.
Yeah, that is a great panel.
Yep.
There's a few times back in the day, 80s and 90s, where they had panels like this where another character is just holding another character underwater, and they do the break in the line, the horizon line or whatever you want to call it there, and to see the underwater scene. And there's something very powerful about that I always loved as a kid.
And now everybody gets naked.
And now it's just like, hey, I can't defeat you. It's like, okay, there's this video that was going around on the social webs, and I'm pretty sure it was a stage video, like one of those stupid stage videos where two dudes get in a fight, or they're getting a fight in the street, and one dude like strips down naked.
Oh yeah.
And the other guy's like, "Hey, no, yeah." And he runs away and he starts chasing him. I was like, "That's what this is." Peter has no other option. He's just like, "I can't beat you. I'm getting naked, and we're gonna see how this goes." You know.
He's very progressive.
Yeah, very progressive. Yeah. But in reality, within the story, he kind of gives himself over to the symbiote because he kind of feels like the symbiote still wants him, where Eddie's like, "Nah, this is my girl now," and he got the whole axe thing. And I kind of feel bad for Eddie in this moment. Like it kind of sucks, you know,
like a simp. Or
yeah.
That's exactly what, like, that's exactly the kind of dynamic that it is. It's, you know, the symbiote's only doing this because it's angry that Peter rejected it. It found what it thought was the perfect host, and the host rejected him. And the only reason, and Eddie is the rebound. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just gonna say, yeah, exactly. It's one of, didn't they retcon at some point and make the symbiote female?
I don't recall, like because they didn't really establish like genders for the symbiotes. It was like a whole thing. They were like an asexual being that would, like, because like that's how Carnage is made, right? Is like it's born from the bond of Eddie and the Venom symbiote, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
So like I don't think that they ever established them having like specific genders. They very well could have recently. I have no fucking clue. Following modern Marvel stuff is
yeah. I'm gonna pretend like that didn't exist, you know.
Yeah.
So here, long story short, the symbiote chooses Peter, but it's already bonded to Eddie Brock. So the whole trying to break that bond to go to Peter, I guess, defeats them. some kind of jolt to everybody and knocks everybody out is what I'm gathering kind of happens here. Yeah, tidy whities, everybody. I like how Peter wears matching colors underwear to his Spider-Man costume.
This issue of Spider-Man is brought to you by Fruit of the Loom.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Now here's the only thing.
Tell me.
This issue ends just like this, and then we go into another storyline.
Yes.
You know, do we ever find out what happens? Does he's like, okay, I defeated Eddie Brock, Venom. We're good. We're gonna move on. No more threat. Or does he actually captured again and put into some kind of holding?
No, I thought you left him.
Nah, man.
That's interesting.
It's settled, Joe.
That's like you beat the bully up and that's it. You know, like I beat you. That's two times
classic,
now.
That's classic.
Because that's how that works, I guess. Apparently.
Yeah.
Even with deadly aliens that want to take over
your
body.
Yeah. Because I remember specifically going to the next issue and be like, all right, there's got to be some kind of wrap up. Nope, we just go into the Scorpion, which was it was a good issue too.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, well, shit. I guess that was kind of anticlimactic. Classic beach fight vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Venom really works.
Needed more volleyball.
Yeah, exactly.
High fives too.
Menacing villain. I've got to use. I've gotten too used to anti-hero versions. Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? In Amazing Spider-Man, he was such a popular character, they had to eventually turn him into an anti-hero because people were starting to really love the character. It's kind of what they did to Joker, not to that extreme because he's still a villain. But he was such a cool character. People were gravitating to him so much that he was a villain, but people wanted to see him win. So they were almost kind of forced in the 90s after Amazing Spider-Man 375 to make him kind of into an anti-hero after that. And then we got the Lethal Protector storyline. It came back in Maximum Carnage as a hero role next to Spider-Man. And I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that they did
was
that.
Prior. Lethal came out before the 375.
I think it came out. I think it came out after.
Nah, right.
Yeah, because
a better analogy is like what happened with Punisher, right? Because like Punisher was initially brought in and was a Spider-Man antagonist, and people really liked him. And he got his own solos, and now he's an anti-hero. You know,
right?
Hero, depending on who you ask. But like I think that that's really what it comes down to is that while you know, stories about heroes give us something to aspire to. There is something intriguing about a person who strives for goodness but falls short. Right?
Yeah.
There's something intrinsically human to that, and that's what you get in a lot of these anti-hero characters. Is there people that have gone up to like what you would see as like your standard like heroic trials, and they failed their trial of character was, but they still want to do some good, but they're not they aren't able to fully commit themselves to the hero's journey, so they follow down another path.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I'm all for a villain being a villain and never being a hero.
Yeah.
But there are characters where you can make that exception and push them, especially if it becomes popularity. You know, the readers are going to dictate quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's to me when a writer takes a villain that should be a villain and tries to humanize them when nobody wants it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. You know, but if the reader is saying like, oh, we love this character, we want more of this character, then you kind of got to take the pulse and be like, all right, well, let's do something. And you kind of have to push them into a anti-hero role. Otherwise, you can never just have them all the time, you know? So that makes a lot of sense. The nerd beat the beach bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. I mean, Peter was kind of stacked back then. I mean, he was
good abs.
Yeah,
look at that.
He put on a little weight, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, we have over 113 people altogether watching. 20 here. The core 20 is in the house here on YouTube, and over on X we have 93, and we got 2 watching over on Rumble. So shout out to wherever you guys are watching tonight. Please hit the like button. Come over to the YouTube channel. subscribe to the channel, hit the like, share it out. If you can, guys, do me a favor. If you are in the chat, please take a second right now and hit the like button. We got 20 people in the chat. I want to see 20 likes. And also, if you can, comment after the show is done. We've been putting out a lot of shorts, a lot of clips of the shows as well. If you can, watch those, like those, comment on those, because everything is going to help grow this channel, which we are desperately trying to do. So shout out to you. Thank you for being here every week, live as you are, and I appreciate you guys.
And if there's a series that you want us to take a look at, and if we say yes, you can super chat us so you can buy them.
Yeah, if you super chat us, we will definitely take a look at it. It's got to be $10 or more, though.
$10
or more, and we'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah.
You know, because then we have to sacrifice our own laurels about possibly looking at something
which
we really don't want to.
We ain't got none of those as it is.
Yeah.
So you're buying our laurels.
So overall, guys, let me pull this down, I guess,
to
the conversation here before we move on. Overall, I want to hear your guys' thought. I'm going to start with Sean. We're going to go around the board of what you thought of this story at this particular time, the second time we see Venom. One, what would you give the book as far as storyline, rating wise, and what do you think of it?
Okay, it's great having Michael on because he's way smarter than both of you and I combined. So I feel like I have to kind of like up my dumbness. So like story wise, it's fine. Like I give the story like a solid 6.5. But for me, it's the art and the characters that give it a pure 10 within that. Like, is it nostalgia? Yes. Is it as one of my favorite comic book artists? Yes. Favorite villain and superhero? Yes. It's just so fucking powerful. It's just great comic books at its core. It's not Shakespeare, but it's
doesn't have to be,
It's the shit of the 80s and 90s that made us fall in love with this craft. And I'll be realistic, a 9.95.
I like that. That's good. Yeah. What about you, Michael? What do you got?
So I'm gonna actually piggyback off a bit of what Sean was saying, because I think that this is an instance where you have a story that is okay. I honestly think that in terms of its storytelling, it needed another issue. It needed another issue to really flesh things, flesh things out and build stuff up. Because like even when we were talking and you see the end of that fight and you're like, oh man, I'm sure they're gonna give something in the next issue. They just completely move on.
Right.
Like I feel like you needed at least another issue of storytelling. But this is one of those instances where you can have a middling to okay story stand out because of how good the art is. And this is where you get just a fantastic display by Mcfarlane, really bringing the energy up on every single panel that he's doing, whether it's an action shot or a slow introspective moment.
Yeah.
Mcfarlane makes sure that he brings in energy to everything there, and it elevates the storytelling, which I think if you had anybody else drawing this at this point in time, this wouldn't be remembered to the degree it is now.
That's a great point. Great point.
So I would give it a 9 when you blend both together. But if we're just doing story, I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. And then art is like a 10. Like Mcfarlane really he brings it to a whole other level. It is it's funny because people don't remember this run for the writer. They remember it because it's Mcfarlane's Spider-Man book.
Right.
And this really just goes to prove that, is you've got this moment. And, we talked a little bit about it at the beginning where, the first Venom appearance was good. And it's like a horror movie, but this is the sci-fi action blockbuster that people have been waiting for with between like Alien versus Aliens. And this is, I think, like the best way to put it on this issue, on these couple of issues.
I think that was great. I'm just going to reiterate what you guys said. I think around 9 or 10. It's hard for me to not give 10s when it comes to Tom McFarlane. Just whatever. The story to me was okay. My favorite part was the Black Cat incident, because I thought that was just for the time. I thought it really, I'm talking about this story. Like as far as the story goes, like my favorite part of the story was
him.
It was the Black Cat incident because I thought it really pushed the seriousness of the character forward. You know, but art wise, I mean it's Todd McFarlane, so I absolutely give it a 10. And if it wasn't for doing the show again, I probably wouldn't have read it again. I would have just looked at the art.
I can't remember the last time I actually read it, but I look at the art is like
what I will say, Joe, is I completely agree with you on the Black Cat stuff. It's the strongest part of the issue, and that's why
Hands
I think
down.
it needed that third book, because that middle issue should have been Peter finds her like that.
And get
That's a great point because he never. Yes, that's a great point because he never does. He doesn't even know about it.
And then you have the confrontation of you're married.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You're married.
It's almost. I almost feel like they wanted to push the envelope just a little bit, but couldn't commit to it. So we'll give just a little bit, and then let's go away from it. We'll forget it ever happened.
Like, I think that the great thing about Venom is that he's not just a physical opponent. He is a person that knows these intimate details on Peter's life and can use them to really, really hurt him. Mm-hmm. And so to have this moment where Peter finds Felicia and she's been physically destroyed by Venom and left with this emotional bomb, and he's trying to comfort her and he can't because she doesn't want him anywhere near her.
That would have been great. That's a great point. Sheldon Martin says the story to me is mostly the art. Anyway, I give it a 10. 12 of that means measuring from the nuts. Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Kayla with a 10 spot there. I do have. Where's my thing? There it is.
Super chat, motherfucker. There's a super chat, motherfucker. There's a super chat, motherfucker.
All right. There you go. She says for $9.99 says for Sean to read, Kayla has the best accent that sounds like an angel when he speaks and has an amazing when she speaks and has an amazing reading voice. Great show, guys. Sean, you're supposed to read that, but Kayla, where is the punctuation and separating of sentences?
Some fucking editor.
I thought you were a writer editor. Come on.
Yeah, goddamn.
You can't make me stumble through a super chat like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Kayla or Sean, you got to read that.
All right. This is like Rob doing Todd. I got to warm up to it.
But she said you guys say she sound. I mean, I guess you could. Well, yeah, you do. You go ahead.
As I do.
Yeah.
Kayla has the best accent. She sounds like an angel when she speaks and has an amazing reading voice, cocksuckers. Great show, fucking guys. I love yous. That type 1 now. Don't be bummed, you pieces of shit. Go Boston Yard.
Oh, God.
Kayla's driving, too. That's so not safe. Come on. Come on. I wouldn't tell people that.
It's like the scene in like Roger Rabbit when the Volkswagen or the taxi turns around. Like,
oh yeah. Like, Leandro says 9 for the book. I felt like
I think that he's saying that the interaction between May was his favorite part, like Eddie Brock showing up to their house, and like dapper and is being all
that was good,
like, cordial. It's great. As I said, like I think that really what this arc needed is an extra issue to really pad it out and showcase the consequence and weight of Venom really fucking up Peter's life.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us in that portion of it. We do have Michael Odin here. We do, as I say, have creators on here all the time. So I do want to take a little bit of time and look at this newest project, Elysium Fields Reborn. What can you tell us about this?
Talk about it, please.
So Elysian Fields was actually the first book that I did in the indie scene. I came in 2020 and did a book called Elysian Fields issue 0. And it was very successful. And then its follow-up, Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, was technically successful, but I lost a lot of money on it. I almost broke it. I almost quit comics because of it, because I was like, I was going through through some stuff at the time too, so I was just like, I can't afford to keep doing this.
Right.
Around that time is when I came up with the idea for the Embrace, and so
Great book.
Focus shifted and stuff. But like this concept has always been something that's near and dear to me. And eventually I got I think the distance and experience needed to go back and revisit it. So I went back, I redid the script. I got a brand new art team. And really just like while the bones of the Zero issue are still in this a little bit, it's a whole new book. And it's absolutely stunning. We got a fantastic art team that really, like, I really wanted to kind of convey that Joe Mad style that you have in like Battle Chasers and Darksiders and what have you. And the bare premise of this is at its basics, Mortal Kombat with heroes of mythology. So we start off our book and you get to see Achilles at his last battle at Troy. He dies, he goes to the underworld, and he has a little moment of rest before he gets pulled into this tournament to fight alongside Heracles and Hippolyta against heroes from all these different cultural mythologies to hopefully get Hades his seat back as Lord of the Underworld.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't realize it was all that. That's awesome. That sounds like a great concept. I do love this art though. I mean, like I love the storytelling is very solid, very professional looking. And
it reminds me of there's a bit of like Francis Manipool, you know, cool. Kari Randolph, phenomenal illustrators, an animated vibes, beautiful stuff, great storytelling.
It's
you know how to pick them. You know how to pick the artists.
I try. That's true. That has been one thing that I have been accused of in the backwards is like I'm pretty good at finding talent at this point. I have a pretty good eye for it, and like I was kind of shocked at how quickly I found these guys because I was like, you know what, if I got like a Joe Mad style for Elysian Fields, that could really sell it. And then literally 2 days later, like something poured it out of the ether, and I saw these guys on a campaign, and I was like, that art right there. And I hit up the art team, and they blew me away.
Very cool.
And like, the other cool thing about this is the book is actually done.
Oh, sweet.
So like I have proofs here of all of the covers that we've got. So like this is our main cover. We've got this. And you guys will probably be familiar with these names. This is Vaughn Randall and Robert Nugent. They do work on Spawn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. V. Ken Marion and Andrew Dahlhaus did this one, which is
that's our dude.
We love VK and Dahlhaus. We love both those guys.
And then this one was done by a kid I found on ArtStation, art student, like 20 years old. This is his first professional gig.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And
did you hammer it out? Like you could get it for exposure?
Well, so I was the whole I pay my people.
Hell yeah. That's right. That's right.
Like, I wanted to do a homage to Supergiant Games' Hades franchise because their second game went full platform release here this past week, and so I wanted to do like a cool nod to that. And so I found him because he had submitted a piece through ArtStation to a Hades fan art page, and it was Hades fan art contest. And his piece was beautiful; like it looked almost identical to what was in the game. And so I hit him up, and just a delight to work with. Incredibly professional, very very quick to respond. Came up with a whole bunch of really good thumbnails for concepts immediately. Like really good dude. So I'm sure that he's going to be doing some big things.
Nice.
William Race, didn't he do one of the Replicator books?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's why the name sounds familiar. All right, that's why yeah. No, this all looks really, really good. I see Halo Lore saying the raw pencils for this book are insane. A lot of people digging the art.
I'm probably going to do. I am especially when we get a couple of issues in, I'm going to do an unwrapped edition.
Yeah, you should.
Very cool.
His pencils are ridiculous.
It's not enough people do that kind of. Yeah, not enough people do an unwrapped. Like a lot of us do the black and whites for the inks and stuff, but there's not a lot of the unwrapped stuff. Which sometimes I wonder like how many people are interested in that. But as far as an art collector, I love that kind of stuff. Like I want to start doing that with my own projects, just putting out the pencil versions. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just because sometimes the pencils are just raw and just great. You just love the rawness before it's all polished up by inks and colors and all that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I completely agree. I mean, hell, I'm surprised you haven't done one for Reaper, Joe, because like you just posted up some pencils you were doing for Reaper 2 that look fucking astounding. So like,
thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, he's like, yeah, they're all right. No, I'm gonna do one. I'm definitely doing one for Reaper 2. That's something that's in my mind to do, and I thought about reissuing one for Reaper 1 at some point as well. Just my work, but the thing about issue 1 is that I end up inking a lot of that book too, so that there's pencils and ink. So if it was just me, it would be penciled and inks, where issue 2 is just going to be straight pencils, because I don't plan on inking that book as long as my inker sticks with the entire project, because I do want to put out a single book of just raw pencils with the script, kind of like the unwrapped stuff that DC does. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and I hope to see more people doing it, because like there are some really solid pencil artists in the indie scene. Like, can you imagine how many people would buy like an Alan Goldman?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Unwrapped edition of anything that he's done. Like, freaking amazing work.
All right, guys, I dropped a link into the chat because I didn't see any of my mods dropping it. No, I take that back. Never mind. I put my foot right in my mouth. Right in my mouth before I say that.
Compliment.
Hail the Lord coming through like he always does. Number 1 in the chat and number 1 when it comes to dropping links. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, Kayla said, where's you? Come on. Odin is a great storyteller, one of the best writers on the indie scene, hands down. High compliments from Kayla, because she doesn't blow smoke.
Yeah, one of the best writers we had on the show. Makes us like not feel as dumb as we are. So we thank you for that. We have feelings and we take shit personal.
You guys aren't as dumb as you think, man. Thank you. Man. I think that you really nailed it with your summation on this book. It is a whole thing where the storytelling it's okay, but Todd's art is really what sells it, and that's how it is.
What are you doing next weekend? You want to hang out with us?
I'm all like so long as so actually next weekend I'll be at my first convention doing nice. 9 Realms.
Which one?
I'm really excited. Shenandoah.
I'm not sure where that's at.
Where is that?
It's in Virginia.
Okay.
It's
cool.
Yeah.
Hell's
so like
yes.
I'm actually like really excited. It's gonna be a good time. I'm trying to make it a point to do 3 conventions a year from this point on. At minimum. Hopefully that's awesome. Baltimore here in the next year or so.
Hey, if you're in that vicinity, in December in Ocean City, Maryland, is the Ocean City Comic-Con. Great end of the year show, family show. It's getting bigger and bigger. This year's gonna be the first 2-day weekend. I think it's the second weekend in December. James and the crew put on an awesome show. It's like family to me.
I will absolutely, like, as I said, I'm trying to get out there more.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me was my first 5 years in this. It's been doing the, do crowdfund, promote, and then like I wipe myself out doing all the promotion. And so I take a break to get the book ready and fulfill. And then by the time I get back, it's like the entire landscape is different. Nuclear bombs have gone off every 5 seconds since I've been away. And I'm like, so apparently nobody I know likes me anymore or talks to anyone anymore.
That'll happen.
We got
nowadays.
What the fuck happened?
Leandra says, is this on IGG or Fund My Comics at all?
So we might do Fund My Comic. I am not doing Indiegogo anymore. And the big reason for that is my past 3 books by them have been shadow banned.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, that's a good reason.
and so I'm a bit not okay with having a company take 8% of my campaign funds when they
not
are
advertise you,
preventing me from
reaching
new markets. So I am not going to be using them anymore. Kickstarter is where we're going to be doing this first campaign. I might be doing a Fund My Comic. I want to see how the Kickstarter does. If it still doesn't bring in what I'm hoping by the end, then I'll probably do a Fund My Comic, because I want to make sure that we get as many people in. And on top of that, I also really want to make sure that I keep doing these books, because the second issue script is done. Third issue script is done. I'm working on issue 4 and 5, and we have a spin-off that I've done like at least in issue 4. So like, it's very exciting stuff.
That's fucking cool. That's really exciting. I'm happy for you.
Killing it, man.
Hell yeah. See, you're doing it your own way. Normally, people like back in the day before like crowdfunding, people were doing the convention scene route, like in the Publisher's Alley or Indie Alley. You know, here's my book, but you have your successes already. You're a well-known writer. You're awesome at your craft, and now you just got to get your name out there on the indie scene. And look, man, this is awesome. I'm excited for you, brother.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sean.
Oh, yeah,
Don says, quick question. Does the art on this book make you sick? As you guys know, if you follow this channel, we have a list of artists that make us sick, and that's the highest compliment we can give artists. Doesn't mean you have to be professional. It just means we have to like your art, and it makes us sick, because we're looking at it and it's like, fuck, this makes us sick because it's so damn good. Yeah, I would say that this registers up there. I think William Reyes did a great job. The finishing, the coloring on the entire book looks fantastic.
Yeah. Like African AIDS sick.
Oh my god!
Right?
Oh man!
Don's reminding everybody that Michael is going to be on with him on the studio this Saturday at 7 p.m. So tune in for that, guys.
Great show.
Don's killing it over there on his channel. A lot of fun guests. All right. Before we get out of here, though, we got something we want to share from the Type 1 excitement here. Sean, you want to?
Yeah. So
I this up before we pull it up.
Yeah. I is it shareable?
Type it. Yeah, I'm gonna share it here in a second.
I'm getting pages back in from Dan Kemp. Yesterday I got in a page in of my one main nemesis, Lord Aramis. This is at the end of the battle between him and Strees, just beating the shit out of him. Strees goes through Lord Aramis's death rate, his paramus, and other goons. It's a big brawl, and it's just showing the villain. Just because you're the hero, you don't always win. And it kind of goes from a saying that my mother liked from the Rolling Stones, like, you can't always get what you want.
Oh, yeah.
If you try sometime, you get what you need. But he's not getting what he needs right now. He's getting his ass whooped. So
he's not getting what he wants or what he needs.
Nah, so by the time you get the book in your hands, you're going to see, like, he went through hell. And it's going to be an emotional romp the next few pages afterwards, but it's getting there. And just getting colored pages in just really charges me up. And I was working on pages all day today drawing, and so we're $45 away from 10K on both Indiegogo and Fund My Comic. If you haven't yet, please back it. We're going to be updating the campaign on the 27th, the last Saturday of the month. I think we're trying to shoot for, right, Joe?
I think it was the 26th.
Okay, 26th. It's the last Saturday. We're going to do a stream during the day. We're going to show you what new shit, the Ultimate 1 tier. You're not just getting 4 books, 5 counting the holofoil exclusive Type 1 Con Artist Volume 3. You're going to get like 8 variants, sketch, a commission sketch, the holofoil. It's going to be bumped up there. So, Michael, if you're free that day, we'd love to have you on, hang out with us for a couple hours. We're all just going to be shooting our
we'll have
shit.
some friends on.
Yeah.
Shoot me the invite. I would absolutely adore to be there.
We'll do. We'll figure out the timing about that. But look, it's just been cool, man. You're putting it's taking a little while, but we're getting there, and I'm excited. Dan's gonna have a handful of pages by the end of next week, and just keep going. I think I got like 11 or 12 more pages to go on my end, and then I'm fucking wrapped up and waiting on whenever Dan's whole schedule is open to complete the book, and then hopefully get into everybody's hands by sometime summer, early fall, seeing how things are going. But thank you for your patience and everybody that believes in this project.
The Don is saying come on his show that Saturday night after it's
Yeah,
all said
man.
and done.
Yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah.
Let me bring this. So we did not reach the $25 super chat goal that we were trying to get to. So I'm not going to show off I'm not going to show off the newest cover to Reaper Destroyer issue 2 that I just got the inks back from Marlo Quiza over a very, very amazing artist is going to be gracing the cover, the variant cover, one of the variant covers, because I got a couple really badass artists on this next book as far as the covers go. So I'm not going to show it. Maybe next week. Goal is 25. Kayla almost got us there at 15 or at 10. Yeah, we still need 15. I know, Kayla, you're doing it. You're doing it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So maybe next time. I will, though. Does this have any spoilers? I'm going to show you
Show the tip. Show the tip.
I'm going to show just the tip. I'm just going to show the tip. Make sure there's no spoilers here. As far as, oh, shit. Nope, I can't do it. Nope. Sorry. Can't do that. It's got the artist name right on it on the file, so I can't even show that off. Sorry, guys. You have to wait till next week. If we can get that $25 goal, we will show that off. Until then,
hold on. I think you're going to be getting that 15, friend.
All right, wow. Yeah, 15 is all we need.
We'll keep this open for a couple more minutes. But next week, do we have Dan Chichester on next week? I believe.
I think Will Perdomo. I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
It's coming on next week. And then I think we got Dan Chichester the week after that.
And then on the 17th, we have Michael Ortiz of Arachnus. How exciting is that? Arachnus is coming back.
Yeah, and shout out to the Don for getting him on his show, The Show, or the studio, which was awesome having him on a few weeks back, watching him do his thing, but really, helping us kind of get in contact there. Oh shit! There we go. Speaking of the Don coming through,
there's our
being the man,
dude. He came on. I was on the show on Friday, and Dan Panosian was on, and he's awesome. I grew up on this stuff, and then he left, and then Michael Ortiz came on, and like I just fucking fangirl. I'm like, I love you. I went to a show when I was 15. It was so embarrassing. Like it's like
we did an entire stream looking at Arachnus, and I feel like like not that many people knew about that book. Obviously some did, but I mean, I feel like we were able to bring that to a new audience because it was kind of an obscure book in the 90s. But it's gonna be fun to have him on.
Super chat, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. Give the official. The Don says, "Show the cover." All right. Well, then that's exactly what we're gonna do here. Let me hold up this exclusive. Can I add to stage? Before screen, remove the media streams on this. Oh, so I have to remove this. Weird. Okay, let's stop. I'm gonna back out of this. This is the Reaper Destroyer variant cover for issue 2. Oh, my screen back by a artist I like to call Brett Motherfucking Booth. Inked by Marlo Quiza.
Bitch, that's amazing.
And this is absolutely gorgeous. I have it sitting right next to me right here. I can't stop looking at it. Marla did such a fantastic job of inking over this. Obviously, Brett did an amazing job of drawing. And it's just absolutely beautiful. This thing,
you still have an arm and a leg after this?
Yeah, it's still there. Barely, just barely. No, shout out to Brett for doing such a fantastic job. Didn't phone this in at all. Just like vintage people. Brett. I love this is the thing I told Brett when I was talking to him, because I gave him the shots of my character and everything, and I was like, hey, if you want to tweak the costume, do your thing, have fun with it. Because that's the thing about the Reaper Destroyer costume is any artist that draws it, I'm just like, the main stuff needs to be there, but if you want to tweak certain things, go ahead. I got no problem with that. It's your own kind of version. So he did a little bit of tweaking on the armor and stuff, which mine is a little bit more jagged, but I love how he did some of the stuff. In fact, I'm like, I'm going to start doing some of the stuff more like you do, because I was inspired by, not all the time, but I was inspired by just the way he drew this character. But yeah, I mean, current artist of Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, Titans, Backlash, you name it. But one of our favorite artists from the 90s,
Yeah.
I started following this guy with Stormwatch 5 was the first book I picked up, but Wildcat Zero, and it's been a pleasure being able to talk to him, have him on the show multiple
buddy.
times.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd like to call him a friend.
Yeah. It's
why not?
We've gotten over the part where it's like, you remember you did that? That was cool.
Yeah.
He knows our personalities. Like it's been almost 5 years, so that's
true.
one of the blessings of this whole thing is getting to call people you grew up as inspire their shit inspires you. To call me a friend, it's fucking a true blessing.
Yeah. So I just got this back today. Dave Kemp, brother of Dan Kemp, is coloring this. We'll be coloring this soon, and we will reveal that when we get a chance, because I need to start getting hype going for issue 2 as we're getting close to dropping the mailing list, now that we're getting very close to getting the campaign fulfilled and out there to everybody. So I'm excited about issue 2, not just where the story's going, but just also the guys I get to collaborate on this issue. And in the first issue, I had Shelby Robertson and Dale Keown on the covers of that book, and that was a dream come true. Having Brett do something has been amazing, and I've got another artist I highly admire that I can't wait to show you guys that cover as well, and that'll be down the line as we go. But we're going to start the hype train, getting it started early, and we will get that mailing list out probably by the beginning of May, I would say, is when I want the mailing list out, because I want that out for a few months before we actually launch sometime in the summer. But yeah, that is Brett motherfucking Booth on the cover for Reaper Destroyer. I could not be happier. And thank you, Don, for getting us there. Thank you, Kayla, for both getting us there to that goal so we could show that off. So,
and you know what? It's cool. By the time you start promoting that, the mailing list, we're gearing up for the 5-year anniversary of Art and stuff. May 7th.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in early stages of just kind of chit chatting and figure out what we want to do. We haven't really done like a big celebration past few years. We've been busy. Life shit's happened. If you've been with us from the beginning, we like to celebrate anything.
That's what we do.
Have a good old time. So this year we're definitely going to celebrate 5 years of doing this, being awesome friends and creators like Michael and the chat. So we're going to have a good time this year. So be prepared for more art and stuff.
That's right. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. The show ran late, but it was a great conversation. We love talking about this stuff, and it was absolutely fun. If my computer won't freeze here. There we go. We're good. All right, we're going to jump out of here. Be here this Sunday at 10 p.m. for the Ronan Joe Show. We're going to have a lot of fun like we always do. Then be back here Monday at 9 p.m. for the Spawn review. We're going to be looking at the Book of Nyx, which has got an actual title of it. The book is the subtitle, or the Book of Nyx is a subtitle, which I can't remember the actual title, but that's one of the new books coming out from Todd Mcfarlane Productions. We're going to jump into, and then next week for Will Perdono on Art and Stuff right here, 9 p.m. Be there. We love you guys. The chat has been amazing. Thank you so much. Michael, thank you for coming on. This was a great show. Everybody go back. Elysian Fields Reborn. That thing looks great. Links are in the chat. Do it. Help out creators. It looks awesome. Let's get it out there. Until then, anybody have anything else you want to say before I get out of here?
Thanks for having me on, and it's been a blast.
All right. Be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.